Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Scent of a Woman by Brest, starring Al Pacino and Chris O'Donnell. As you already know, I've just watched Beverly Hills Cop on the channel, so do check that out. It was a great film. I'll always remember Chris O'Donnell as Robin from Joel Schumacher's Batman movies, which I loved when I was younger, but in retrospect, they were pretty bad. It was a big part of my childhood though. Al Pacino, on the other hand, needs no introduction whatsoever. He's one of the greats, and I've seen too much of his work to list here. About Scent of a Woman, I know a young Chris O'Donnell helps a blind Al Pacino grow as a person or fall in love or something, but that's all I know though. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reactions to over 60 movies, early access and weekly polls for what to watch next. Please consider being a patron, please subscribe to the channel, do check out my other videos, like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. Scent of a Woman, Brest, Pacino, O'Donnell. Let's go! Scent of a Woman. Philip Seymour Hoffman. He wasn't as big of an actor in the early 90s, but he became a legend by the mid-2000s. Music by Thomas Newman. And it looks like Chris O'Donnell is a student here, looking for Thanksgiving weekend job. House sitting. Look at Philip Seymour Hoffman with his long hair. I don't think I've ever seen him like this.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe they gave it to him.
I know this actor.
I think that the Board of Trustees have had their first true stroke of inspiration in some time. So what about Stad?
Okay, fine. Okay, the G may be silent, but it's gonna take at least $3 grand to get there.
Charlie, how do you feel about skiing?
I don't think he can afford it.
$1,200.
$1,200 is a little rich for my blood, Harry.
What'd you do that for? You know he's on aid.
Oh, he's on scholarship.
On major holidays, Willis, it's customary for the Lord of the Manor to offer drippings to the poor.
Brest is setting up Chris to be an underdog who's here by merit, not by the grace of their father's connections. So that's a good thing.
I heard about the weekend job.
Come on in. I'm sorry, the school gave me your name, but I've forgotten it.
It's Charlie.
Before you go in, do you mind my telling you a few things? Don't sir him. And if he staggers a little when he gets up, don't pay any attention.
All right.
Do you want Tommy in or out?
Leave him out! He's chasing that calico gidge from the track houses again.
They're setting up Pacino to be a cranky old man.
Get in here, you idiot. Come a little closer. I want to get a better look at you. How's your skin, son?
My skin, sir?
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I'm sorry, I don't...
Just call me Frank. What does your daddy do in Gresham, Oregon?
my stepfather and my mom run a convenience store.
I know you go to the bad school. How do you afford it?
A Young American Merit Scholarship.
And that little piece of tail?
Get her out of here!
Looks like he doesn't like kids or young people in general.
What do you want here?
I want a job so I can make, my plane fare home for Christmas.
He just wants to go home for Christmas, so he's working in Thanksgiving.
Dismissed.
But I don't get why he dismissed him though, because he's clearly not one of those privileged prep kids.
It was a bad interview.
That was no interview, Charlie. You're it.
I don't get an easy feeling.
You know, he was a great soldier. The man grows on you. By Sunday night, you'll be best friends.
By Sunday night, you'll be best friends. I have a feeling that might be true.
6 months ago, he could sometimes tell light from dark, but now there's nothing.
And this is the first time they acknowledge that he's blind.
Okay, Mr. Rossi.
And he works part-time in the library.
What are you doing? I'll tell you about it in the morning.
Miss Hunsaker.
George,
You have a nice day?
why all the noise?
I'm messing around with Chaz.
It has to be some sort of prank. I have to say the cinematography and the color palette has definitely improved from his previous work in Beverly Hills Cop. Oh no.
Why did the trustees buy him Jaguar wheels?
He wasn't conniving.
He wasn't crass. He merely puckered his lips and kissed their ass.
Come on.
Fuck you!
Oh no, they were the kids who were seen by that lady.
Who was it?
I really couldn't say for sure.
I will expel you both.
That's serious.
Mr. Willis, would you excuse us? The Dean of Admissions at Harvard and I have an arrangement. I add one name. Do you know on whose behalf I drafted a memo this year?
Oh, sir.
You.
Oh.
Now, can you tell me who did it?
No, sir, I can't.
You take the weekend to think about it, Mr. Sims.
Really good acting.
You're back, huh? Get out my dress blues. They're in a garment bag in the closet. My Val pack's underneath the bed.
Are we going someplace, Colonel?
What business is that of yours? Don't shrug, you imbecile. I'm blind. Save your body language for the bimbi. Hi, honey. Bye, honey. Drive carefully.
And no 900 numbers. He loves to talk dirty.
Oh, he was calling a 900 number. I thought he was calling somebody he knew.
Here, let me take a look at that. Touch me again, I'll kill you. I touch you. Where are we going? New York City.
Colonel, I can't go to New York City.
Why not?
New York City's too much responsibility. I can't.
Ah, responsibility. Are you ready? Good. Here you go. Thank you, Daphne.
Certainly, sir.
How did you know her name?
Now, California chickie. Bucking for English lady. Call her Daphne. A very, very distant second is a Ferrari.
I think they're bonding a little based on the music change. And that's the Waldorf Astoria, one of the best hotels in New York.
The Waldorf Astoria. Hello, this is Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade. I would like a limo. 8 o'clock.
I have to get going.
Very well. You'll dine with me, and then my driver will transport you to the airport for the Boston shuttle departing at 2200 hours. What's the matter with you? Car feels heavy. You know why? You got the fucking weight of the world on your shoulders.
He's going to tell him about the school problems.
I saw some guys doing something.
To tell or not to tell?
That is the question.
Or it's your ass.
George and I saw Harry and his buddies doing something.
Perhaps you'll feel more comfortable in this, sir.
Oh, there's a dress code.
$24 hamburger?
There are more expensive hamburgers nowadays.
Are you like a rich miser or something? How do you plan on paying for all this stuff?
I saved up my disability checks.
How much did you save? I mean,
All part of a plan, Charlie.
He leaves at 9 o'clock.
Calm down, calm down. I need a guide dog. Help me execute my plan.
What plan?
Stay in a first-class hotel. Eat an agreeable meal. See my big brother. Make love to a terrific woman. After that, and blow my brains out.
I think he's being serious. He smells a woman.
What a marvelous place.
Flawless performance so far. Even from young Chris O'Donnell.
Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning. How are you feeling today, Colonel?
Super. Where you going?
I need to use the phone.
Stay out of my room!
Hi, George Willis, please.
Chaz, next year you gotta come up with us. White powder on a basis snow bunny.
Ooh, they're doing drugs.
For now, the move is no move. Status quo.
That makes his father, probably, George Willis Sr. Big George gonna wind up Little George, and Little George gonna sing. You're gonna have to tell these people what they want to know. Measure up Charlie here, pronto. We got a date for Thanksgiving. My brother's place.
I should be getting back to school.
I could use the company, Charlie.
This is the second time he's almost imploring Charlie to come along with him. Arrives in a limo to some suburban house.
Here I am.
Uncle Frank.
Gloria.
Gail.
Of course.
He doesn't remember anybody.
Willie!
Oh my god, this is not going to be a very pleasant dinner, is it?
How you doing, Red?
Everybody in this scene looks so uncomfortable.
Why don't you take to your families for dinner?
I heard that. Out of Omaha on the other. Now we're 3 across the bed. Not a stitch of clothes on.
He's talking about the sexual encounter he had.
It's all right, Gloria. I enjoy Randy's observation.
My wife's name is
sensitive.
Gail.
Either Gail is nervous or unsatisfied. And you've gotten so wrapped up in the sugar business, you've forgotten to taste the real honey!
You able to lay off him, Chucky, because he's blind?
My friend's name is Charles.
Frank was earmarked for general. He blew himself up. Really flying in class. He gets all excited. He starts pulling the pins out.
He juggled live grenades?
One grenade got away from him. Boom.
Holy...
Vinny came out okay.
And all Frank lost was his eyesight.
That's crazy. He got passed over for promotions.
God doth have a sense of humor.
This is such an emotionally complex scene. Everybody has their point of view, and I can relate to almost everyone here.
You get the point, Jackie?
His name is Charles. Bye, Willie. I'm no fucking good.
Using a prime lens on both of them when he said, "I'm no effing good." It's almost like the last time he's saying it. And the theme song kicks in, which is growing on me, I guess. That's another night he spent. He's readying his service pistol.
Time me.
He can do it blind.
How long?
About 30 seconds.
I'm rusty.
I'm calling Albany. That was stupid.
You stuck with me, Charlie.
Wow.
Fine. I'm leaving.
Charlie, all I want from you is another day.
Amazing physical acting.
Will you give me your weapon? Oh. Well, then give me your bullets.
I mean, there's no one wants to tear a herring with me anymore.
Oh, he's lonely. And he's admitting it in a different way. I wonder whether there's one in the chamber or not, because automatic pistols have one in the chamber and the rest in the magazine.
I know I said I need you for just one day, but even I can't hold it that long. You forgot the one in the chamber.
There was one in the chamber.
I was offered a bribe.
Oh, he's going to tell him about the Harvard or Cambridge thing.
Should Charlie Sims accept a free ride into Harvard or not? Do the deal, Charlie. Take it. I'm getting a nice soap and water feeling from down there.
He smells another woman.
Female.
Female? She alone?
Yeah, she's alone.
Day we stop looking, Charlie, is the day we die.
Wow. Wise words from a blind man.
She's not bad.
Ooh, bingo! Boys alive. Excuse me, senorita. You mind if we join you?
Well, I'm expecting somebody.
Ogilvy Sisters Soap.
That's amazing.
I'm Frank. This here
This is Charlie.
Yes. She likes you. Do you tango?
No, I wanted to learn once, but
Would you like to learn to tango, Donna?
right now,
These reaction shots are really well placed.
20 by 30 and the band's gonna write.
Wow. What a beautiful scene. And she's doing amazingly well for somebody who never tangoed. Amazing facial expressions by Al Pacino here. He's trying to see, and that's reflected in his eyes and his pronounced performance.
you are one incredible dancer.
Hey, at last you found someone to tango with.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
Beautiful establishing shot of New York.
I'm off.
It really brings the intimacy and chemistry together for these characters. He's going to call George again.
Out of control. Somebody's got to talk to him. My father's a major fundraiser, you know.
No. His father is going to get George off the hook and blame it on Charlie.
Good night, sir. Good night.
This is one of the best Al Pacino performances I've seen so far.
What a beautiful woman.
He doesn't look so good.
George thinks he might be able to get us off the hook.
Now watch the us part.
Exactly, Charlie.
My wallet is on the dresser.
I could stay for a while.
Just leave me asleep here.
Their chemistry and bond was too complex. It's intentionally kept simple.
You know, let's go out and do something, huh? Let's go for a ride.
I really care about these two characters.
What kind of ride?
A Ferrari.
But you're 17 years old and you're with a blind companion. That we don't do. When I get a Ferrari, out the door.
2,000. And unless you take it, you're gonna make me cry.
He convinced the dealer to take the car and go out for a drive. And the music switches to almost romantic. Wait, whoa.
Straight.
Frank's driving.
Take it nice and easy. Colonel, slow it down.
He feels alive.
Say when to turn.
Colonel, you can't turn the car. Now!
I love this!
Slow down. Slow down, Colonel.
I wonder how they're going to handle this. What a beautiful shot of New York with the Brooklyn Bridge and the Twin Towers.
My boy Charlie kept telling me to let her out. What was I gonna do? Disappoint him?
Yes. Your dad is looking good, Charlie. He's got a heavy foot, though. Tell him to take it light, all right?
Wow. And he has no idea that he was blind.
I'm not driving anymore.
I'm not driving anymore. Those words have a lot of weight to them. The music suggests that he's contemplating his life.
Red light. Colonel, hold it.
Taking too long.
Oh man. He had his dinner, he had his hotel, he had a night with a woman, he drove a Ferrari. He's losing purpose of his life, and he's getting more daring.
What's the matter with you, Colonel? Do you want to use the bathroom?
No.
This film is emotional on a very different level. I honestly thought it would be some sort of love story because it's called Scent of a Woman, but no. I think it's a metaphor, Scent of a Woman, which brings him back to life.
Well, I'm sorry, but George isn't going to be talking to any of his friends from school right now.
Oh no.
Colonel, are you looking at me?
I'm blind, Charlie. Why don't you go downstairs and get me some aspirin?
I don't trust him. The piano notes are suggesting something really bad. And this is exactly what Charles is realizing.
You're back too fast.
Oh, he's just in time.
Get out of here, Charlie.
I thought we had a deal.
I'm gonna shoot you, too. Your life's finished anyway.
Put the gun down. All right, Colonel?
Charlie's just way too innocent.
Do you want me to adopt you, or don't you?
You're just in pain.
Words can cut deep.
What do you know about pain? No time to grow a dick, son.
He's brave. Charlie's brave.
Fuck it.
Get out of here! You want to do it? Do it. Let's go.
I can't believe this is the most emotional scene in the film.
Get on with your life, would you?
What life? I got no life! I'm in the dark here!
You want to give up? Give up. We're both through. It's all over. Miserable blind motherfucker.
Courage from Charlie. That's what Frank wanted.
You don't want to die.
And neither do you.
Give me one reason.
I'll give you two. You can dance a tango and drive a Ferrari better than anyone I've ever seen.
Not top 5, top 3 Al Pacino performances here. Thomas Newman is doing an amazing job with the soundtrack.
All right, just put it down.
Oh, I could use a drink, Charlie.
What time do you want me to turn down the bed?
Come right in.
Later, please.
Boy, you have a one-track mind.
Just the thought that maybe one day I could have a woman's arms wrapped around me. That I could wake up in the morning and she'd still be there. Smell of her.
I don't know why you can't find someone. You're good looking. You're fun to be with, and great travel companion. Sensitive, compassionate.
Sensitive, compassionate.
Are you fucking with me?
Yes, he is. That scene in the hotel room was amazing.
I'm getting that heavy feeling again, Charlie.
I think you were right about George and his father.
And we get the prep school music back.
I hate goodbyes. $300.
For the first time, he's curious to actually know somebody on this level.
Okay, Manny.
And I think Charlie's realizing how screwed he is. It's Manny and Frank.
A beacon for the nation's...
Got room for me up there, Charlie?
We are here today.
This is Mr. Frank Slade. I'm here in place of Charlie's parents.
You were in a position last Tuesday night to see who committed this act of vandalism.
I didn't have my contacts in.
They're just gonna pin it on Charlie, obviously.
Maybe Harry Havemeyer, Trent Potter,
Oh no, he did give them up.
You know, why don't you ask Charlie? I really think he was closer.
I thought you'd pin it on Charlie somehow, but no, he's just coming clean.
Whom did you see?
I couldn't say.
You couldn't say or you wouldn't say?
Most any Baird student, sir.
Wow.
I'm going to recommend to the disciplinary committee that you be expelled. You are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch. What is your motto here? Here's Charlie facing the fire, and there's George hiding in Big Daddy's pocket. And if you think you're preparing these minnows for manhood, you better think again. What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
Amazing.
And I'm here to tell you, this boy's soul is intact.
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order? I show you out of order. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place. And Harry, Jimmy, Trent, wherever you are out there, fuck you too. If Charlie's silence here today is right or wrong, I'm not a judge or jury. He has chosen a path. It's a path made of principle. You hold this boy's future in your hands, committee. Don't destroy it. Protect it.
What an amazing monologue, amazing framing.
They have come to a decision. Messrs. Havemeyer, Potter, and Jameson are placed on probation. Mr. George Willis, Jr. received neither recognition nor commendation for his cooperation. Mr. Charles Sims is excused from any further response to this incident.
Hoorah!
George gets nothing. He gets to continue. Those three kids are on probation, and Charlie is scot-free.
Downs, Colonel Slade. I teach political science.
Why, thank you. Are you married? We should get together, talk politics sometime. Fleur de rocaille.
He knows exactly what she smells like.
Bye, Miss Nelson.
Bye.
He just might get what he wants.
Manny?
Oh, Colonel, this is too much.
Next time, Charlie and I want to take a breather to New York. We're going to call you.
Take care, Colonel.
You too.
Really
Bye, Charlie.
He hates goodbyes. It's almost like his faith in youth has been restored.
Your Uncle Frank's had himself a really hard Thanksgiving week. Willie?
Wow, the last time we saw him, he was throwing a pillow at the kids.
I'll let you make me some marshmallow chocolate.
That was an exceptional movie. Thank you for the recommendation, guys. Okay, I took some time to collect my thoughts. That was an amazing film. I've seen 2 Martin Brest films so far, and both of them were great. His directing had improved drastically since he made Beverly Hills Cop a couple of years prior. The actual screenplay of the film was spectacular. The performances of Pacino and O'Donnell were fantastic, with Pacino's acting being Oscar-worthy. While writing the review, I was contemplating where this performance ranks in the great career of Al Pacino. I would say this was probably his 3rd best performance after The Godfather and Dog Day Afternoon. There are just so many to choose from, but those 2 are probably my favorite, and this one being 3rd. The music in the film was fantastic, so was the simple choice of editing style, which carries over from Brest's Beverly Hills Cop. I think he does this intentionally to focus more on the story than the visuals themselves, which is fine in my books, as long as you have a script as amazing as this. So I'd say those were the strengths of the film. The only weakness I could think of was the runtime, which was over 2.5 hours. Maybe shortening that a little would help, but I don't know whether it would have hampered the character development of both the leads if Brest chose to do that. Speaking of Martin Brest, let's get started with the directing by him and the screenplay by Bo Goldman. I'm slowly getting the directorial style of Martin Brest. He's a storyteller through and through, kind of like Frank Darabont. He focuses on his characters more than the actual visuals of the film. Again, that's fine since he had an amazing script to work with. Bo Goldman did a fantastic job here with his writing and dialogue. It was him who wrote these characters to be so relatable and their character developments themselves to be so realistic and believable. Okay, so there are two storylines to focus here. One where an old cranky and blind Colonel Frank goes on a last hurrah in New York with his young aide Charlie. The second was where Charlie, a prep school student on a scholarship, is expected to snitch on a prank he witnessed under the threat of expulsion, which he can't afford, obviously. Both these storylines were handled beautifully, and the way Brest chose to interconnect them was wonderful to watch, because it really drove the plot forward. Frank was shown to be angry, almost irritated with life at the beginning, but by the end he ends up defending Charlie in a passionate speech about integrity at the disciplinary hearing. The character development here was top tier, and coupled with Pacino's performance, it elevated the film from great to legendary. Chris O'Donnell, on the other hand, was unexpectedly great. I have to remind you that my memories of him are from the Batman films. I really liked him when I was younger, but he was not good in those roles at all. But I can't say the same here. He was stellar opposite to Pacino. I really didn't think he had the acting chops to pull it off, but he did, and I'm glad to be wrong here. His character development was great too. Although he was shown to be a man of integrity from the start, his character changed in a different way. He learns to appreciate life from Frank in a weird way. He learns to be braver and to take more risks. Frank really brought Charlie out of his shell, and even though he repeatedly tells Charlie to snitch on his friends, he doesn't. And that's where I think Frank really saw Charlie's character. Moving on to more of Pacino. There were two scenes in particular that took my breath away, both in terms of acting and emotions. The first one was when he was in his uniform and he was about to end his life at the hotel. He said, "Did you ever have the feeling that you wanted to go and still have the feeling that you wanted to stay?" I don't have much to say about that. Since it really hit home for me, I can and did relate to that. Anyways, I love how Charlie tells him to keep tangoing and indirectly say that life is worth living, and he disarms him, both literally and emotionally. That was my favorite scene of the entire film. The other scene was obviously his impassioned speech at the end defending Charlie. His character was fully transformed by that point, and you could see the resolve on his face as he screamed at the school board and the school itself. After applause from the entire school and Charlie getting excused instead of expelled, we see Frank finally go home and start playing with his niece and nephew. That was beautiful to see, since in the beginning he hated kids and youth in general. His bitterness was almost gone, and it was Charlie who helped get him there. He also might get what he wanted all along, the scent of a woman, that professor at the end, to be more precise. The music in this film was by Thomas Newman. He's a much bigger name now than he was at the time. Even earlier in his career, he was a great composer, and his score really shines here. The main theme of the film evoked a lot of emotion from me. He also mixed up upbeat music and preppy music in the more volatile scenes like the Ferrari ride and the Thanksgiving scene. I also like the use of silence from Brest, as he knew how to build chemistry for the lead characters. Great job here. I only have one criticism of the film, and that was the runtime. Maybe cutting the film down another, 15 minutes or so would have helped, especially some of the extended scenes at the hotel. But please do let me know whether that's a valid criticism on my part, since I might be wrong here. Apart from that, overall, this film was phenomenal. Martin Brest's best work and one of Al Pacino's best performances ever. Easily Oscar worthy. Chris O'Donnell was fantastic too. I expected a romantic film, I guess, based on the title, but I love the fact that Scent of a Woman was a metaphor for love of life. Thank you so much for this recommendation, and it was a great film. I'm going to be championing this movie for so many other people. Thanks again. Anyway, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page, links in the description below. Consider being a patron, subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one. Bye.